It's Maggie Smith and Leonardo DiCaprio! Yes! Now that's a marriage made in heaven, if ever there were one.
Hidden away in the rolling countryside of West Sussex stands a 15th-century red brick farmhouse that served as the sanctuary for one of Britain's most celebrated actresses. For over 4 decades, Dame Maggie Smith called this secluded estate home, a place where she raised her children, weathered personal storms, and retreated from the glaring spotlight of international fame. The quintessentially English residence, with its vineyard, orchards, and hidden corners, tells a story as rich and nuanced as any character Smith portrayed on screen. The historic farmhouse in Pulborough. Nestled in the picturesque town of Pulborough, Dame Maggie Smith's home stood as a testament to her appreciation for history, privacy, and understated elegance. The 15th-century red brick farmhouse, purchased in 1981 with her late husband, playwright Beverley Cross, represented not just a dwelling but a deliberate lifestyle choice for an actress who could have selected any residence in the world. The historic property, with its centuries-old foundation, mirrored Smith's own timeless quality, an enduring presence in an ever-changing world. Unlike many celebrities who gravitate towards flashy modern mansions or urban penthouses, Smith chose this historic country home for its character and seclusion. The property sits on a generous plot of land in the English countryside, offering natural protection from prying eyes and unwelcome attention. So determined was Smith to maintain her privacy that she reportedly had Google Maps blur the street view of her home, a rare request that speaks volumes about her desire for a boundary between her public persona and private life. The choice of Pulborough as her home base represented a deliberate stepping away from the spotlight. While her career took her to glamorous film sets and prestigious theater stages worldwide, she always returned to this modest, by celebrity standards, country home. The juxtaposition is striking. The woman who portrayed the Grand Dowager Countess retreating to a farmhouse rather than a palace, the formidable Professor McGonagall finding solace not in magical castles but in centuries-old brick and timber. Before Smith and Cross made it their own, the property had already witnessed centuries of English history. Standing since the 1400s, its walls had endured the Wars of the Roses, the English Civil War, the Industrial Revolution, and 2 world wars before Smith ever crossed its threshold. This connection to history clearly resonated with an actress whose career celebrated timeless stories and characters. Her decision to preserve rather than modernize much of the property reflected both respect for its heritage and a personal aesthetic that valued authenticity over ostentation. A life shaped by place. The rhythms of Dame Maggie Smith's daily life in Pulborough contrasted sharply with the glamour associated with her profession. While her schedule often took her to London's West End, Hollywood studios, or international film locations, her rural retreat provided balance and normality. Morning walks through her orchard, tending to the small vineyard, or simply enjoying tea while overlooking the South Downs became rituals that grounded her amid the whirlwind of fame. It was within these walls that Smith raised her 2 sons, Christopher Larkin and Toby Stevens, both of whom followed their mother into acting careers. Family holidays, birthday celebrations, and ordinary Sunday dinners unfolded in rooms far from the public eye, creating a sanctuary where the sons of a famous mother could experience something approaching normal childhood. The spacious grounds provided ample room for play and exploration, while the house itself offered cozy corners for reading scripts or helping with homework. Despite her fame, Smith maintained a low profile in the local community. Occasional sightings at Waitrose in nearby Storrington became minor events for locals, though she was generally afforded the privacy English villages traditionally grant their residents, famous or not. One such encounter, which Smith later recounted on The Graham Norton Show, involved a young boy who recognized but couldn't quite place her, telling her, quote, "It's all right, it will come to me in a minute," a moment she described as sweet rather than intrusive.
I was in Waitrose in Storrington, my favourite. And a little boy was at the checkout with his mother, and he kept looking at me. And I thought, what am I going to do about it? And he kept looking at me and looking at me. And I said, can I help you? And he said, it's all right, it'll come to me in a minute.
The stability of her Pulborough home supported Smith through personal challenges, most notably her battle with breast cancer in 2008. While filming Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince, she underwent chemotherapy treatments, returning to her countryside home to recover between filming sessions. The privacy afforded by her secluded estate allowed her to face this health crisis away from public scrutiny, with the familiar comforts of home supporting her recovery. For someone whose career required her to inhabit different characters and environments constantly, the consistency of returning to the same home for over 40 years provided a psychological anchor. This balance between her adventurous professional life and stable personal environment may explain her ability to maintain both longevity in her career and equilibrium in her personal life. Behind the gates. The 5-bedroom farmhouse that Maggie Smith called her home for over 4 decades offered far more than simply living quarters. The property represented a self-contained world designed for both comfort and productivity, reflecting the owner's appreciation for traditional English country living while accommodating modern needs. The main house, with its 5 bedrooms, blended historical architectural elements with practical comforts. Original beams and fireplaces coexisted with necessary modern conveniences, creating spaces that honored the building's heritage while remaining livable. Each room reportedly maintained a distinct character, some formal, others cozy, allowing Smith different environments for different moods and needs. Though no published photographs exist of the interior, a testament to Smith's fiercely guarded privacy, visitors reportedly described the decor as elegant but comfortable, featuring antiques alongside family photographs and mementos from her illustrious career. Beyond the main residence, 3 historic barns dotted the property. These outbuildings, likely dating from various periods in the farm's long history, were preserved and repurposed over the years. One reportedly served as occasional accommodation for visiting family or friends, another as storage for garden equipment and household overflow, while the third may have functioned as an informal workspace where Smith could review scripts or correspondence away from the main house. Perhaps the most distinctive feature of the estate was its small vineyard, unusual for private properties in England, but indicative of the microclimate West Sussex enjoys. This vineyard, though not commercial, produced grapes suited to England's growing conditions. Whether Smith actively participated in wine production remains unknown, but the vineyard contributed to the self-sufficient aspect of the estate and connected the property to agricultural traditions dating back centuries. The orchard represented another living link to historical farming practices, containing heritage varieties of apples, mulberries, pears, plums, and walnuts. These fruit trees not only provided seasonal bounty, but created a peaceful setting for contemplation, a private arboretum where Smith could walk among trees that had been producing fruit since long before her arrival. Final days at home.
The day after this interview airs is your birthday.
You're kidding. I don't want to be reminded of that. That's the last thing I want to be reminded of.
Do you know how you're going to celebrate?
I thought you were going to say, do you know how old you are?
The property witnessed the entire arc of Dame Maggie Smith's later life, triumphs and challenges, professional renaissance, and personal losses. Having purchased the home with her husband Beverley Cross in 1981, she continued living there after his death in 1998. It stood silent witness to her most profound personal battle when she fought breast cancer in 2008. In an industry often defined by transience and reinvention, Smith's commitment to this singular place revealed much about her character. She valued substance over show, history over novelty, and genuine comfort over performative luxury. Now it's time to hear from you. What's your favorite memory of Maggie Smith? Let us know in the comments section below.